Hi, in today's video, Namya Dhalla would be interviewing Dr. Bhavika Gupta on why and how to do paper and poster presentations during BDS. If you're a BDS student, this is a must-watch video. Dr. Bhavika Gupta is an alumni of Dr. H.S.J. Institute of Dental Sciences, Punjab University. She was the General Secretary of the Rotaract Club, also the sub-editor for the PU Mirror, that is a university magazine. She had co-founded a blog, Two Almost Dentists, to share her experience during her BDS days. She has presented various papers and posters across national and international conferences, for which she won awards for four of them. I'm Dr. Satish Kumar. This is Kaizen Dental. Our aim here is to help dentists succeed.
Hi. First of all, I want to really welcome you for giving us your time and answer our doubts and give us any tips that you have on poster and paper presentations, specifically for the BDS students. Okay.
Thank you
So
so
my
much for having me. Before we start, I would just like to say that thank you to Kaizen. Kaizen is doing great work for dental students in the country, and they're doing God's work, seriously, with the content they put out on YouTube as well as Instagram, and hats off to them. I am a huge fan. Anyone asks me what's the scope outside of BDS, I just tell them, go check out Kaizen for sure.
Yeah, we agree on that, and thanks a lot for that. My first question to you would be, how important is it as a BDS student to actually take part in competitions that require us to present posters and papers?
Mhm. I think it's very important. In fact, it should be essential for dental students to go for paper as well as poster competitions. It should be part of curriculum. That's my personal preference. But it is very important, especially for a BDS student. It's important because of three main reasons that come to my mind. So first is that it helps a BDS student explore the world of dentistry, right? So as you search for new topics or new subjects to make your poster or paper on, you sort of explore what is happening in dentistry around the world, right? You explore what are the new avenues that are being added to dentistry, be it digital dentistry, be it implant dentistry, be it aesthetic dentistry, be it anything. There's n number of new things happening around the world, right? So it helps a student grasp all that new advances. Moreover, it creates a new interest in dentistry for us young students, right? So for example, for me, I literally fell in love with dentistry because I started liking and I started researching more about digital dentistry as a student, thanks to all these poster and paper presentations. So one major reason is this, that it helps you explore the vast world of dentistry. Then the second reason is that it teaches you the basics, the very basics of research, right? So while paper and poster presentations, they themselves are not exactly research, they do form the very basis of research for a dental student. So you, through these presentations, you understand how to differentiate a good paper from a bad paper, how to differentiate a good journal from a bad journal, how to cite a particular paper, how to go through, how to read a study, and how to get the most out of that study. What things you can include in your own poster or paper presentation and what things not to include. So basically, it just teaches you how to even start with research. And the third reason I would give is that it helps a dental student network with other dental
Mhm.
students across the country. It helps you network with other faculty members from different colleges around the country. It helps you become a better public speaker. It helps your communication skills. It builds character. when you go and give these presentations in various conferences, be it in your own college, in your own city, or even in another city of the country, or even in another country, right? So, I mean, the reasons are numerous, but this is paper and poster presentations are and should be considered a very important part of the dental student life.
That was a really descriptive answer, and I'm sure it's going to be really helpful for students everywhere. And so the second question would be like, is there a particular year in the degree, like first year, second year, any year, which is essential ki haan, this year is good to start with it, or irrespective of the year, matlab, you can do it anytime?
I feel like so I personally started in my second year, but I feel like you should start as soon as possible. There's no minimum year or age to it. You can start as soon as you enter a dental college, which is the first year. And I had these juniors, they were in first year when I was an intern, and these guys presented a paper in our college scientific conference, and these guys killed it, right? So despite being in first year, despite being new to the college, these people spoke so well and they knew their topic inside out, despite not even despite being in first year. So you can start at any year, at any stage of your college life, and you should start as soon as possible if you have the option, for sure.
So for a beginner, which would be better to start with, a poster or a paper presentation,
Okay,
or
so
anything?
there's no hard and fast rule. You can start with a paper presentation also, you can start with a poster presentation also. It totally depends on you. It first of all depends on your comfort level. If you are comfortable giving a longer presentation versus a shorter presentation, because a paper presentation will be a minimum presentation of 8 to 10 minutes, whereas in a poster presentation, you will have to give a presentation for maybe 2 or 3 minutes, right? So if you're comfortable with public speaking, if you're comfortable with presenting a whole PowerPoint presentation on the presenter and everything, so go for a paper presentation. But if, for example, you still think that you'd rather do a single slide presentation over a multiple slide presentation, you can always go for poster. But both of them are essentially the same. Both of them have essentially the same amount of importance. It's totally up to you.
So basically, each of it has its own pros and cons. You just have to see which works for you. Yeah.
Exactly,
Hmm.
for sure. At the BDS level, they almost have the same importance, whereas maybe in post graduation they might not. But for a BDS student, even if you're doing a poster presentation, it's amazing.
Okay. So, according to your experience of giving presentations, how would you describe to be the process like in your own words? You want to?
So the first thing is that you have to, mostly these presentations, they happen in conjunction with conferences. So first you have to keep an eye out for conferences, see where are these conferences happening, and as soon as you find out about these conferences, register for these conferences. Register for the poster and paper presentation, the scientific sessions, and once you've registered, you then go on to deciding what exactly you will be presenting. So then comes the hard work of finding a topic that interests you, that you have enough information about, and that would actually interest the audience as well as the judges. So, and this is one of the most frequently asked questions we get on our blog, is how do we go about finding this topic for the presentation? Um, so mainly there are two to three ways that I would recommend you go about it. So the first is to pick up any final year or any medical textbook and go through the last few chapters of that textbook, right? Generally, these last few chapters will have they'll talk about the new advances in whatever subject textbook you picked up. So for example, if I picked up Grossman from endodontics, I think there's a chapter in the end that says new advances in endodontics. So go through these chapters and see what interests you, what echoes with you, and if something strikes, read more about it, or go online, read more papers or more research articles about it, and see if there's anything particular about it that you can present, or anything specific, or if you can just present the whole topic as a literature review or something like that, right? Then the second way is that if you're totally lost, if you have no idea how to go about it, you can always approach your faculty. You can
Mm.
select a subject that you like. For example, if I am a first year student and I really enjoy physiology, so I can go to my physiology faculty and talk to them. That ma'am, I have this conference coming up, and I really want to present a poster here. So can you please help me suggest a topic for me that I can present on? And 99%, in fact 100%, the faculty will help you, or they will guide you towards a postgraduate student, or another teacher who could help you in case they're busy. But 99 to 100% for sure they will help you. Then the third way is that you can present your original work. So if, for example, you're a third year student and you've done a patient, and you've done the patient, uh, you've done something new in that patient, something like, instead of doing a GIC class 5 filling, maybe you've done a composite class 5 filling. So maybe you can do an original case report on that. Or if you've done a survey, or if you've done some sort of a research project under a faculty member or anyone, you can present all of that data in a paper or a poster presentation, right? So you can present your own original research work as well. So these are the three ways that I suggest students go about finding a topic for themselves. And once you found a topic, you research, you study about that particular topic, go online, read review articles, read systematic reviews, read whatever you can, compile all that data, compile all that information, and present it in a poster or a paper format, right? In poster, it's a single PPT slide, whereas in a paper, it's multiple PPT slides, depending on the time you have. So you go about making a presentation, and then on the final day, you present your paper or you present your poster. It's pretty straightforward that way. Another thing, a very important step in between is, once you've prepared your paper or your poster, please get it reviewed by a faculty member for sure.
In the answer you mentioned about conferences and everything, so according to you, how do we actually like, as a college going student, how can we find out about such conferences happening? Because most of the time we kind of like
Mhm.
miss a lot of it. So are there any like tips on how to keep a check ki, yeah, these conferences are happening and I can present?
Before you listen to the answer to that question, please do not forget to hit the like button below because the doctor out here has taken time from her schedule to come and help you out.
There's no straightforward answer to this, unfortunately, but you have to keep a lookout. You have to keep your eyes, ears, nose, everything open, and you have to be. I mean, I would recommend that you be on good terms with postgraduate students, because they get notifications about all these conferences that are happening all over the country. So, they can hopefully let you know anytime this conference is happening here or there. And a lot of time, colleges themselves also organize a lot of conferences. So always be proactive and be a part of whatever is happening within your college, at least, if not in some other city. And moreover, we have a Telegram group that we made through the blog called The Almost Dentist. You can find us on Telegram and you can join our group. We always update whatever information we find about conferences, courses, or any sort of competitions that are happening around India in that group. Moreover, yes, it's a mix of networking. It's a mix of information from here, there, everywhere. So there's no particularly direct answer to it, unfortunately. But I hope that helps.
Yeah, that surely does. About the topics also you mentioned in your previous answer, uh, are there any specific topics for a beginner to start with?
You can start with anything. The world's your oyster, right? There are so many things happening in dentistry. I, for example, I'm very passionate about digital dentistry, so I would recommend topics within digital dentistry, be it CAD CAM technology, be it artificial intelligence, be it anything, be it cloud dentistry also. Then you can also go for aesthetic dentistry. Aesthetic dentistry is very up and coming. You can go for facial aesthetics also, be it Botox, fillers, and all sorts of things. Even that is something people are really interested in these days. And there are so many things out there, new advances in periodontics, lasers. Lasers are being used in pretty much every subspecialty of dentistry now. Go for anything. And even if you don't find anything specific, you can always approach a faculty regarding these topics. Go to them with a broad topic in mind. Maybe, for example, go to a prosthodontic faculty member with the idea of implant dentistry, and maybe they can specify 2 3 subtopics within that implant dentistry, that okay, you can talk about these type of departments, okay, you can talk about these type of implants. So the world's your oyster. I mean, there's no dearth of topics out there. You just need to find something that you're passionate about.
What kind of benefits can such presentations hold for us in the future?
All these presentations, they are very, very, very beneficial for students, from building character, from helping you become better at public speaking, from helping you network with not just dental students but dental faculty from all over the country. All these presentations, they help you learn about the new things that are happening in dentistry. I mean, there are just no disadvantages as such, other than, of course, maybe you're not able to go to another city, or maybe you're not able to attend the conference. That could be a disadvantage. But other than that, I mean, everything's pretty much an advantage. Moreover, all these paper and poster presentations, they are very good for resume building. So, for example, if you want to go abroad after BDS, you want to go to some other country, these always look good on your resume.
According to you, uh, what does a good paper or poster presentation should actually include?
So the first thing I would say is that always prioritize original work over borrowed work. So if, for example, you have an original case report or an original survey or an original research project that you've worked on, always present original research work rather than borrowing it from somebody, from a faculty or from a PG student or from other individual. Instead of presenting the borrowed stuff, present the original stuff. So that is one thing I would say. Second thing I would say is that content is king. So in case if you do present borrowed information, always prioritize, new, interesting, thought-provoking topics rather than something that's old and already pretty well known amongst the dental community. Then third thing I would say is, do not plagiarize, do not copy paste from the internet, do not download a poster as it is and present it in a conference. It just does not look good, right? Moreover, it is very unethical. Then the fourth thing I would say is to know your topic inside out. So it can get very embarrassing if, for example, during the question and answer round, the judges ask you something and you don't know the answer to that question. So that is why you need to know your topic inside out, whatever topic you're presenting. And I'm sure even if you don't win, even presenting at a paper or a poster presentation is a win in itself, to be honest. Just being up on stage and presenting a scientific poster or a paper is a big deal, and you should congratulate yourself on that, irrespective of you winning or not.
So, ending on that really positive note and with so much information that you just gave, I'm sure it will help each student worldwide who is actually thinking of giving such presentations and everything. And thanks a lot for giving us your time here and answering such questions about poster and paper presentations. Very all the best to you for any future endeavors you are working on.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. And before I leave, I just want to say that I am not an expert at, paper and poster presentations as such. However, I have had my fair share of learnings. And I'm here answering all these questions today because I want to help dental students out there and I want to help them start at a better level than I ever could and to not repeat the same mistakes I made. So I really hope it helps everyone out there. And all of this is from my own experience, from my own learning. Best of luck to everybody out there, and I'm sure you're going to make amazing presentations. And even if you're doubting yourself, don't doubt yourself. Just register for that conference and go for that presentation. Make your first presentation and then learn from there, right? So that is all. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
If you're a BDS student and you enjoyed this video, do not forget to check out our other videos. You're sure to gain a lot from watching them.